Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Team McCrawley giving you another video. Today, some more VGC 17 battles on the battle spot using the Tapu Fini Mandibu's team that I've been using. This will probably be the last one that I do after Worlds. There's some interesting things that I'd like to test out. Maybe full teams of people that used, or just some Pokemon in particular. Mainly Xurkitree. I'll kind of give you guys a little spoiler. I don't know if I'll be using Xurkitree, but I had no idea Xurkitree gets access to Tail Glow. I had no idea. And I was reading on some website that it gets access to Tail Glow, and I was like, wait, what? Are you kidding me? And I looked it up, and sure enough, it does. So, and I wasn't too surprised when I saw it. In case you guys don't know, in the Master Division, the the second place guy had it on his team, and I wasn't surprised at all. It's a super hyper offensive Pokemon. But one of the things I'd like to try out, don't know if I will or not, but just one of the things I'd like to try out. So probably put this team to rest, build a new one. So, or continue building a new one, I should say. But anyways, go ahead and get into this first one here. My opponent had a team of Alolan Ninetales, Gyarados, Garchomp, Alolan Marowak, Tapu Koko, and Celesteela. So I was really surprised he didn't bring the Celesteela against me, since it does so well against my team. And then I was actually like, I think he should have brought, just from here in Team Preview, he's going to bring the Garchomp. I think he should have brought the Celesteela instead of the Garchomp, just because Garchomp doesn't, like, it's good against my Arcanine, and that's about it. So, just one of the things, I just got to be careful of the Aurora Veil coming from the Alolan Ninetales, and then also I got to be careful going for the Wild Charge on the Gyarados, because he can switch in Alolan Marowak or even Garchomp in the back. So I decided not to bring my Garchomp here, just because I think mainly against the Celesteela and the Gyarados, I can at least go for neutral damage with the Leaf Blade from Kartana or a Sacred Sword into the Celesteela. So that's why I brought it. So we're going to go ahead and get into the first battle here. My opponent leads Ninetales, Gyarados. So all in all, a pretty solid lead, I guess. I mean, he's going to be able to get an Aurora Veil up for free if he wants. He's going to get an Intimidate as well. I just don't know what this Gyarados is going to want to do to me offensively. I mean, sure, super effective Water Stab, but Tapu Fini is really safe right now. Unless if the Gyarados has Thunder Fang, but even then, it's not going to be doing all that much damage to me. So Tapu Fini is in a really good spot here. So right off the bat, we actually see a Moonblast. We don't see a Blizzard. We see a Moonblast from the Ninetales. That's going to do just under 50% to Mandibuzz. So I'm like, okay, he's going to try and take it out right here, I suppose. And we actually see it's going to be a Life Orb Ninetales. So that caught me off guard big time at the beginning here. So I go for a Calm Mind. I want to raise, or just because it's free at this point, I thought he was going to be spamming Blizzards. And then plus the special attack boost is always nice, and I get the Tailwind up here straight away. So a huge turn one for me. Now Fini's incredibly strong, and we see Moonblast. So I wasn't too much damage, to be completely honest. I'm at +1 defense, which is true, but I was expecting a little bit more than that. So here I go for a Moonblast into the Ninetales, since it is Life Orb. So yeah, it actually holds on here, and I was really surprised. So it must be like a bulkier Alolan Ninetales. So then that's why it's holding Life Orb. I don't really know. We see the Freeze Dry coming in here into the Fini, and you're going to see not very much damage. And the Gyarados is going to go for another Ice Fang. So that's one of the reasons why I went for Roost. It was going to take away my Ice typing. So no damage there. And Fini's about 50%. The Moonblast did quite a bit. And so here I can go for a Muddy Water, but I don't want to risk a miss at all. I just want to get this Ninetales out of the way, especially since Mandibuzz is on the field. And Mandibuzz isn't bringing too much offensively, but it's been a few turns already, so Tailwind could eventually will eventually peter out. And I go for the foul play here. It does over 50%, which is really nice. And he goes for the Dragon Dance, and I was like, gosh dang it! If only I got the foul play after he Dragon Dance, that would have been enough. His attack would have been high enough to pick up the knockout. So that's pretty big. The Gyarados being at +1 speed mainly. I don't know if I'll still outspeed him with both my Pokemon. So he brings out his Garchomp here. I was like, okay, not sure if you want to bring Garchomp out in front of a Tapu Fini. So I go for a Moonblast into the Garchomp. I mean, I was like, even if he protects, Gyarados isn't threatening that much damage anyways. And the Gyarados holds on with 1 HP. I'm like, oh, Focus Sash. Nope, not Focus Sash. So it must have been specifically EV'd to live that. So pretty clutch right there. So, and what's important to note is Fini outspeeds Gyarados, but Mandibuzz does not. So I do take extra damage because I wasn't able to get the Roost off before he went for the Ice Fang, or excuse me, the Ice Fang. And the Poison Jab does lots of damage in the Fini. But I'm okay with my position right now. And the only thing I have to look out for is, I mean, he could have the Celesteela in the back, but luckily the Hail picks up the knockout, so now I'm in a really good spot. I mean, I do have the Pokemon advantage 4-2, but I also get to see what his last Pokemon is and decide what I want to keep around and what I don't. And it's going to be a Alolan Marowak. So he ends up, we see here, this is a Z-move Gyarados. And he's been saving it the whole game. So it was interesting. I think like that turn 1 when he doubled up into Mandibuzz, I don't even think Hydro Vortex would have picked up the knockout. But it would have been a better use of it, I guess, because this is not really... I mean, he had to prevent the Tailwind from getting the backup, I understand, but it was kind of late to be using the Z move. And the Muddy Water gets a double connect and the double knockout as well. So I didn't even have to bring anything else in, and that's going to be game. So fairly interesting team with the bulkier Life Orb Ninetales, the Z move holding Gyarados. He didn't bring Celesteela either. I'm not exactly sure why. Like I said, I think that would have been a better pick than the Garchomp. Because you saw I basically one-shot the Garchomp. But it must have been trained specifically to survive my Fini Moonblast. I mean, the spread I use is fairly common. So lots of people probably, not lots of people, but a few people I'm sure have EV'd to survive the +1 Combine. So still, with Celesteela, he could have brought a lot more to the table. I did have Arcanine in the back, so it wouldn't have made too much of a difference. Just an improvement he could have made from his team select. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the second battle here. My opponent also had a really interesting team. This was a QR team, I remember. It is Slowking, Tapu Koko, Celesteela, Alolan Marowak, Hariyama, and Crocodile. So, interesting with the Slowking. Seeing it with Hariyama makes me think it's a Trick Room team because he also has the Alolan Marowak. And Crocodile, if I'm not mistaken, isn't particularly known for its speed. So, and then Celesteela, also a slower Pokemon. So I was debating bringing Snorlax here, but I decided against it just because Snorlax wouldn't be able to do too much. I mean, against the Koko and the Marowak, yeah. And I guess even like a return against Slowking would be alright. But I felt like if I brought Garchomp, I'd bring a lot more offensive pressure. Especially with the Z move, with the Koko, with the Marowak. Even against the Hariyama, the Z move would be nice. And then the Intimidate here from Arcanine is going to be good. And also mainly to deal with that Celesteela. And then like I said, I was debating whether or not this would be a Trick Room team or not. But I felt like it'd be fine if I brought Mandibuzz, Fini, and led with them. So he's going to end up leading Tapu Koko Slowking. And here I'm like, okay, for whatever reason, I've been seeing a lot of discharged Tapu Kokos. Personally, I don't think it's that good. Just because Tapu Koko's special attack isn't that high, and you're lowering the base damage by making it a spread move, yada yada yada. Especially when you're outside of terrain, you're going to be doing very little damage. But enough of my little rant. But I'm like, okay, well, he's got a Slowking. Slowking doesn't get access to telepathy. He could protect, but he's going to end up bringing in his Marowak here. And I protect my Feeny, predicting this potential electric type move. And sure enough, it is the Discharge. So it goes into my protect, and Mandibuzz is going to eat this like a champ from this, the Misty Seed boost. Look at that. So I mean, you see, I don't know. I've never been impressed with the damage. He does get the paralysis here, which is going to be huge, because now Mandibuzz is not going to be able to outspeed Tapu Koko, so I can't go for like a Calm Mind Snarl or even a Muddy Water Snarl and take it very well. So I'm going to switch in the Garchomp here. He's probably going to go for another Discharge. We do see a Protect here from Marowak, so he was predicting the Water type move into that slot, or even a Foul Play or a Snarl. So we do see another Discharge. So I'm going to do another 1/3 to Mandibuzz. I went for the Foul Play and the Marowak just to get a lot of damage off. And he protected, so he's going to end up taking out his Tapu Koko and the Celesteela. I was debating using the Z move, but I was like, well, he's got Celesteela possibly in the back, so I'm not even going to bother. And he's going to switch out Marowak as well in the Slowking. I was also considering going for Swords Dance, but I was like, I can't really afford a misplay right now. So I just went for the safe Earthquake, and I'm going to be doing about 40% to the Slowking, which isn't anything to be upset about. And then the Snarl is going to take Slowking below 50%. We're also going to get that special attack drop in case he does carry the Ice Beam, or even against any other Pokemon. We're going to see the leftovers here on Celesteela. So pretty happy with how that turn played out. I'm going to switch out Garchomp here, because like I said, in case he goes for a potential Ice type move, I want to be able to take it very well. And then also, Arcanine's my only offensive pressure against this Celesteela. I didn't bring Kartana, and I have Garchomp in the back. So I'm going to Roost here with Mandibuzz, because Tailwind's going out. And I just don't feel like, when I got paralyzed, I was like, okay, I just want this thing I want Mandibuzz to go down, because it's going to be useless. But I felt like I wanted to keep it around, especially now that he's has a Trick Room. I was really happy that I did that, because now it's going to help me set up or stall out his Trick Room. He doesn't have much offense here. The Celesteela is going for Leech Seed, so it's not going to be very offensive, and it's a Slowking that's going to be at -1. So I'm pretty content with my position here. I go for Protect so I can stall out, and also scout what he's going to do. So we do see a Psyshock, and Mandibuzz is paralyzed here. I went for the Snarl. I'm just going to try and knock down the Slowking little by little. Possibly even just lower his attack. Special attack would be fantastic for me. So here, I decided not to switch out. I just want to see how much this does. I don't think he can do too much to me. And Mandibuzz is going to get paralyzed again, which is terrible. But he does miss a Leech Seed, which is fine, because I got 2 fully paralyzed in a row. And this Flare Blitz does tons of damage. I was not expecting it to do that much. So unfortunately, we don't pick up the knockout. If I got a Snarl off, that probably would have been enough. But now he's going to get the leftovers and Leech Seed recovery. So I mean, another Flare Blitz will do the trick anyways. There's not anything to complain about. But I would have loved to pick up the knockout right then and there. So he's obviously going to protect here. There's no surprise. That's why I didn't even bother protecting here. Actually, I do protect because I don't want to take another Psyshock from... I want to get another Snarl off onto the Slowking. I don't want to take unnecessary damage. But there's a third fully paralyzed in a row. So, again, not the end of the world, because I didn't take any damage. I mean, yes, the Leech Seed damage, sure. But I protected with Arcanine and I didn't take any damage. So sure, the Flare Blitz recoil is going to come back and hit me hard, but I have my berry. And he goes for a Heal Pulse here. I found that interesting, an interesting tech move. Like I said, this was a QR code team. So I finally am not fully paralyzed. I get the Snarl, and I was like, I think that should be enough health on the Celesteela because it was missing. It didn't have that much health. The health that it's missing, it had less than that. So he gets a Leech Seed off, but I'm like, okay, it doesn't matter. You're not gonna restore anything till the end of the turn, anyways. So I'm hoping this Firewoods is enough. If not, we're gonna be in big trouble. And we do pick up the knockout. So picking up the knockout on pretty much the biggest problem. And that's I'm barely gonna survive, so fantastic. Gonna be able to munch up, get back to just over 50% health. And Trick Room's gonna end right here. So he brings back in Tapu Koko. So probably gonna see some more discharge spam. And sure enough, he does withdraw the Slowking, the Marowak's gonna come back in. So here I was debating whether I wanted to switch or not, but I just go for the extreme speed because I'm like, okay, I have Garchomp in the back. I don't know if Earthquake will do enough, but he actually ends up going for the Thunderbolt. So Marowak's going to redirect it. I don't really know why he switched into Marowak if he was going to go for the Thunderbolt. I felt like he was fine having Slowking out. But I get the Tailwind up, which is fantastic. And this Tapu Koko is going to start healing from my Leech Seed. So just like that, he already got back 25% of his max health. So, and boom, just like that, he's back up at full. So I'm in a good spot here. He's going to end up switching out Tapu Koko into Slowking. He's going to try and stall out my Tailwind here, but I'm pretty good at this point. But if the thing is, if he can stall it out, then maybe he has a chance against my Garchomp. But also, I kind of thought at this point, there's a potential that his Tapu Koko could be choiced in some fashion with how he's been switching in and out and stuff. So, I mean, he could have just easily gone for a Discharge right there, but he didn't. And we didn't see a Life Orb. We haven't seen a Z Crystal. So I'm thinking maybe it's going to be choiced somehow. I don't know if it's going to be Specs or... I don't think it'd be Scarf because he would have outsped me, but it might be choice Specs. So just something to keep in mind, especially when we're getting closer to the end. So here you saw the last turn. I'm going to finish off the Slowking here with another Extreme Speed. And then Marowak just protected, so I went for the foul play, but unfortunately I am fully paralyzed. So he hits a Bone Meringue off, which is fine, just because that's going to allow me to get a free switch. Arcanine did really good, mainly against that Celesteela. And now this is going to allow me to bring in Garchomp. Because like I said, at this point I'm thinking that his Tapu Koko is choiced in some fashion. So he has to choose between Dazzling Gleam or Discharge. And Dazzling Gleam would be a good option here, but I have Tapu Fini in the back, which will take no damage from some Dazzling Gleams later on, especially if I get a Calm Mind set up. So I go for Earthquake here. I don't want to use the Z move just because of protects and stuff. And one Earthquake is going to be enough to pick up the knockout here on Tapu Koko. So that's pretty much going to be game. This next one I can just go for Tectonic Rage into the Marowak. I do get the Roost off. Manabuzz has just been sitting here pretty much doing nothing except for setting up Tailwinds. But I'm like, okay, I'm going to Roost here just in case, just because I needed to get the Tailwind up. So that last turn right there that I roosted, that was the last turn of Tailwind. So that's why I was thinking that Tapu Koko definitely had to be choiced somehow, because he could have just double protected. But so I mean, that's how choice items can come back to haunt you. I mean, it's still not 100% clear. It's just what I think, just based on how he played it and stuff. So, but yeah, Mandibuzz, I think he got paralyzed turn 1, just sat there the whole time. So, bringing out some good support. I would have loved to not have been paralyzed, because then I would have been able to outspeed, would have been able to take care of that Celesteela and Slowking earlier. But pulled through in the end. So, this was a pretty interesting team. It's kind of a mix of the Tapu Fini team I ran earlier with Calm Mind, and then the Waylay Driftbloom team with the Seed and Tailwind and everything. So it was pretty fun, not gonna lie. So I'll be trying some new stuff out. I'd like to try some new stuff out. well, new. So I'd like to try stuff that I haven't tried out yet. It's not necessarily new because other people have probably tried it, but I'd still like to try some stuff that I have not tried yet. Especially before we get to the end of VGC 17, we only got what, less than 3 months. November. Well, it might even continue after, but once Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon come out, there's not going to really be any need to do any more VGC 17. So, gonna enjoy it while I can. Maybe copy some of these World Championship teams. Maybe they have QR codes for them as well. I don't know, but just kind of enjoy it and stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys got any suggestions for me for my next team, anything you want to see or anything you don't want to see, go ahead and let me know. If you want to battle me, also go ahead and let me know. But that's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.